Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruslan Affendy. You can call me Prof. Ruslan. Some of you can call me Ruslan. It's okay. Initially, when Dr. Rahman invited me to talk to you all today, together with you, I've never heard of MII before. So I'm excited and I just want to know who the people are. And then I realized you are contractors, suppliers and manufacturers of interior works for building. Anyone here who doesn't do building alone, who does other things than building? Semua building. Commercial, industrial, residential. So it's interesting because when Brenda and Kelvin told me earlier that you are all interested to become certified either CCPM or CPM. CCM. Do you have any supervisors here? Supervisor? So generally you are all owners or construction managers in your own organization. Is that right?
Yeah.
So can you see, show of hand, who are owners of the organization? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5, 6 of you. And what about the rest? Are you all construction managers or semua kan? Yang lagi PR ni. Okay, thank you so much. Seldom you come to a talk like this. The president is around. Can you give him a round of applause?
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you have a lot of ways to improve the organization and I'm sure you do well for the next. Is it 2 years or 1 year? 2 years. All the best to you. Yeah. And also Vice President Brenda. Okay, let me continue from what Dr. Rahman said earlier. He has been mentioned project management has been around for centuries. But do you know project management association just started only a half century ago? Have you heard of this? Have you heard of IPMA? Is International Project Management Association. It is European based. It was established in 1965. So that was what? 58 years ago? I'm 63, maybe 60 lah this year. So I'm older than IPMA. Okay, IPMA is targeted for all types of project management, all industries, not only construction. But I remember meeting the president of IPMA in 2014. Dia memang bidang construction. That means construction is a core area in project management. Yeah. And then you also got to know about PMI from Dr. Rahman. Yeah, I know some of you are also PMP, Project Management Professional. This is Project Management Institute, US. What year was it established? Before IPMA or after IPMA? After. What year? I can see some faces here as old as me.
1969.
Huh?
1969.
1969. Thank you, Dr. Rahman. You tak payah cakap lah, dia orang cakap. You sudah tahu apa?
Because myself PMP mah.
Okay, 1969. That was 54 years ago. They say during the fake moon landing. Okay, 1969. And then we have CCPM. Because this one is also generic for all industry. But suddenly we have CCPM, specifically for construction industry. Based on the Acta 520 just now, it covers a lot of types of construction projects. So this was established in actually 2004, but first training 2006, first certified member 2008. CPM. So if you look at the top 10 people who are in CCPM certification, it all started in 2008. So baru berapa tahun? 15 years, yeah, 15 years. So people like us, people like Dr. Rahman and myself, we were pioneers lah, so-called pioneers, because we developed the CCPM module. And we realized that by not having any support from the industry and also from the client sector, people don't really want to become CCPM certified. Because our topic today is on certification. So why was that? Because dia tak ada macam architect, design, engineer ada ability to, regulation says that they have power to do things like that. But project dia tak ada. So maknanya it was not of people's interest. So when this started, the core members started establishing what we would call ACPM. What does ACPM stand for? Apa tu? ACPM. Apa ACPM? It's the same thing lah. Association of Construction Project Managers Malaysia. This was established in 2012. So why did we establish this? Actually to get people interested in project management who have been certified. People like you who's got qualification and also working experience doing construction project management can also become members. Maybe bukan certified member lah, but member or general member of our association. Why we do this? As an umbrella organization. Because I believe IPME, PMI, when they first started, they think of what's going to happen in the future, right? If only one person goes on individual basis, nobody gets anywhere. Because one day you'll die. So we need new generation. That's why I brought in Ethan. Because Dr. Rahman and I are not old lah, wise people lah. So we need young people like Ethan to come in to replace us for it. So I can see a lot of young people here as well. So maybe you can also be certified and then become a CPM. And then we see what happens. Because for your information, the certification doesn't end there. Only a month ago, our committee from ACPM actually visited the KSU of the Raya because we have a suggestion to develop a board for construction project managers. So, kalau board maknanya is regulated. So, we want it to be under the umbrella of Kementerian Kerja Raya. So, the KSU didn't say that he didn't like the idea. They said, let's try and develop it first, do a town hall, get people to respond. If it is good, then maybe we can proceed. So, meaning to say, there is a chance that project managers will have a board in the future and the project management profession will be regulated. So, it's even more important for you to get your certification. Yeah, certification. So, one of the ways is actually to start joining us with ACPM. I have to say this because I'm currently the deputy president. Our job is to rally people to get in our association. I'm also a trainer for CCPM, and not only that, if you apply for Route 2, where you have to be interviewed, I will be one of the interviewers as well. When Brenda asked me, oh, then you can help us lah. I said, if CIB knows that I have given a talk here, and naturally they won't ask me to interview you. They will ask somebody else. But we have a pool of interviewers to do that for you. So normally the interview will take about 1 hour per person. And they will ask you based on the modules. So if you submit your document where you emphasize your work more in certain modules, you will be present more on those modules that you have experience. It's only fair, right? Meaning, not everyone has got experience in all the modules, but you focus on that. So I think it's only fair to ask you based on what you have done. And bear in mind, the certification is based on competency. So you may know it, yeah, you may know it, but you have to prove and show evidence that you know how to do it. That's why the word competency comes in. So like Dr. Rahman said, in PMI, you use exam, but this one not exam, it's all performance assessment. You have to submit some kind of document, or if you're interviewed, you have to show that you know how to do it. How do you perform based on it? Okay. And also Dr. Rahmat dia mention tadi pasal project life cycle. Dia mention pasal IPECC. Nak senang ingat, tuan-tuan, you remember IPECC. Initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and control, closing. So senang ingat IPECC. So all your projects you mesti ada IPECC. Okay. So in order for us to know this certification so-called value, can I just go back a little bit? Tak jauh pun, 20 years ago. Ya, boleh? Boleh? This is my current, my previous, I was a professor at the university. I retired 6 months ago. Okay, next. Okay. How it started? In 2001, I asked, he's passed away a few years ago. He went to MLBK. Dah dengar tak MLBK? Majlis Latihan Vocational Kemasaan. Sekarang ni dah tak ada, dia dah naik taraf jadi JPK. All the TVET program now, TVET, it's all the JPK. Why they naik from Majlis to JPK? Because Majlis is a small unit. JPK is a big unit, Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran. It's a big unit. So when he came back, he introduced this idea. He said we have to utilize NOS and OSS developed by MLBK. So NOS ni, what they did was initially they called industry players. I remember that time when they called the industry players, there were people from M&E backgrounds, oil and gas, civil works, building, and also interior designers. I remember there about 5 or 10 of them from interior designers profession. So when they discussed under occupation analysis, they decided that they wanted to have 5 cabang kerja. Okay. One is M&E, one is A&B, building lah. One is CNS, oil and gas one area, and interior designer wanted an area. Because interior kata kerja kita banyak. Tapi after much deliberation, brainstorming, they decided at the end of the day, even ID goes into A&B. Oil and gas dia ada M&E building semua masuk. Jadi ada 3 bidang, M&E, CNS and A&B. Sampai sekarang ni macam tu settle. So within this, they have occupations. Occupation, scaffolder is an occupation, tiler is an occupation, painter, plumber. All the occupation must have a career progression. Takkan dia jadi plumber forever. Maybe one day you want to become a skilled plumber, or then maybe a supervisor. So ada career progression all the way boleh jadi construction project manager. That was the idea behind it. And they had to develop 132 knots. Banyak. And every knot takes about 3-4 months to complete. So you calculate about 130 years untuk siap knots. So that was the initial idea. But at the same time, there was a problem to differentiate between a few other things like this. You can see construction project manager, one knot. Before that, can you go back one slide ahead? Yeah. There was a problem in determining the difference between these 4 occupations. So there must be a way. So they came out lah with, macam Dr. Ramadhan tadi, the roles and different stages of the project. Yeah, what site manager does, what supervisor does, what construction manager does, and so on and so forth. And it was agreed that every single one ni kena develop. So they developed through, next page, this one. In 2002 they started. So I was involved with this. Yang ni, I did the CNS, A&B for level 3, level 4, and also for this one. This one was not done until 2010. Lama, later. Yeah. It was level 6 too. And in MLBK, ni tak ada. Sorry. We don't have level 6 in MLBK. So they have to develop even further and make it, they call it the next page, NCS. So it's not NOS, but dia dah level manager, level tinggi. So they call it national competition standard. Yeah? So from 2002, the committee comprising of architects, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, interior designers, people from building construction background, project management consultant, government, lecturers like myself, we all came in and do deep brainstorm and develop the so-called curriculum or standard for CCPM. Initially tak di CCPM, dipanggil project manager dalam kurungan construction. But later they realize why not put construction in front, nampak cantik. So construction manager jadi CCPM. Lagi pun CCPM ni dia dengan critical path method kan, is something to do with that as well. So we developed this. They call this learning packages for a master's, professional master's degree in construction project management in 2021. After 21, he actually did all this. So there was a tri-party agreement between UTM Space, providing students and the space, CPM providing the trainers certified by CIDB, and CIDB giving the CCPM. So people like him get 2 TJ. UTM bagi dia masters, attended convocation last Saturday, and most probably in January you will get this certification. That's the only program in Malaysia that does that, yeah, for construction project manager. So for other programs, you have to go through CIDB, either CIDB or CIDB holding. They will run program relating to that. So it depends lah. Boleh saya tanya tak yang nanti berapa umur? Yang how old are you? Belakang. How old are you baju? Ni yang tu mana? Tadi di sana. How old are you?
35.
Huh?
35.
35? 32. Okay. This is important because when you want to be certified, it also depends on your age. Because normally when you get your degree, you are around 23 years old, right? Maybe 24. But you have to have 5 years experience in project management before you can actually come and sit in the training program. But if you have a master's degree, only 3 years. So normally people get masters around the age of 25, 26. So lebih kurang about 28, 29 years old. But people who has got certificate or diploma, the experience is longer, that longer. So I will reckon that you cannot be certified before you are 35. Do you kira? Kan? Not as easy. But if you go to the training program after the age of 28, you may get it at the age of 30 or 31. So when people submit their documentation to CIDB to get certified, age is also a factor. That's a factor. You want to be interviewed, right? So you only got 3 years experience after your degree, so you are not qualified to be interviewed. You have to go through training. Yeah? But some people have got 30 competent. The word competent in itself is something that actually cannot be measured. You are either not yet competent or competent. There's no mark for it. But because this program has to go to the university and what CIDB has done, we have to put a mark. If you get a 70% from the interview, you are competent. You are competent. You kata you dapat 65, tolonglah naik 70. Tak ada lah. Okay. Kalau you get below 70, meaning you are not, you cannot be certified. And sometimes the interviewer will suggest to CIDB. Suggestion is like, okay, after going to interview, they realize that the candidate has got everything except for maybe 2 modules that he's not good at. Maybe one on dispute resolution, the other one will be on service management. So we will ask CIDB to tell the candidate to sit for training for those 2 modules. Okay, what? Instead of going through 16 modules, you only do 2 modules. And then you go through the program. So initially, the LP, there are 15 LPs. Yeah, 15 LPs. You can see, according to Dr. Rahman just now, kalau you tengok project management, first and foremost, you have to have organization management. Yeah, and then followed by communication management, then planning, project planning, and then project funding and financing and funding, quality management, procurement management. These are the things that project manager does, kan? Project apa tu? Design management and authority liaison. Then project management and control, human resource. Why is human resource so important for construction project manager? Why? I mean, other people also do HR. Why project manager has to know HR? True, betul. What? But why? Because when you sit in an organization that does work routinely, it's easier to manage. Project, you are going to work with your own team members. You don't know who the architect is. The architect might be a very fierce person, and then you have the quantity surveyor, the engineer, and so on and so forth. Then suddenly, after the project completes 2 years, you have to go and move to a new project and manage new team members, new architect, new engineer. So actually, it's more difficult, isn't it, to motivate not only your own staff, your subcontractors, your workers, and also how do you relate yourself to your consultants. So that's why HR for organization for contractors and construction industry that deals with temporary works, because it is temporary, is normally more difficult because every time ada changes. Lepas tu you kena acclimatize yourself, macam Badrul has to come all the way from Iran to work together with international people as well. So initially he has problem, then later he goes to a new project, everything settled, but suddenly there's another problem. So HR has got a lot of problem that can pop up from that relationship in the project. Okay, and then you have number 10, safety, health, risk, dispute, all these, all 15 modules. And then in the next one, please. In 2016, CIDP didn't want to use NOS anymore, so they created their own. They call it CICS. What is CICS? Construction Industry Competency Standard. So they developed a new one. So the old one has been basically dropped lah. I do not want to say campak keluar. I think dropped. So they came up with a new one. And last time kita ada 15 modules but under the new one we have got 16 modules. We call it M. M01 to M16. M01 to M16. Yeah? And it was developed in full in 2007. So, in order for us to look at that, can you go to the next one? Can you QR code this? Dapat? Dapat? Buat ICW still on. Certified Construction Project Manager, CPM. So that's the objective. You can read on your own later. Objective of the CPM program. Then accreditation, the next one. Let's look at accreditation requirements. So number one, if you are a registered IR, AR, SR, I'm not sure whether they include nowadays IDR. Any one of you are IDR? I'm not sure. But if IDR is under the Board of Architects, maybe they can consider. And you have enough experience, 5 years. tak payah interview, you boleh apply. You know why? Because in the act of those professional bodies, if you go to Board of Engineers Malaysia, or Board of Architects Malaysia, or Board of Conduit Surveyors Malaysia, they already put there that they have a project management responsibility. So rather than fight with them, we say that they can also be project manager if they want. Because normally people who have got AR, dia tak nak CPM lah, selalunya. Dia ada IR, dia tak mahu CPM lah, it's good enough for them. But if you want, why not? Yeah? If the industry requires, why not? Maybe some of them are saying that we are working more for the consultant side, so maybe it's not required lah. But itu dia point. Number 2, degree in project management or construction related field. How many years? 3 years kalau you buat di training, 5 years for mode 2, 6 years for, or if you want to ask me apa dia mode 1A, B and C, yang 3 tu. Mode 1 is training and certification. You go through the module, maybe 1 or 2 days, and then you have to sit for a small test, we call it knowledge assessment, and then you have to do submission. Submission normally is the issue with a lot of candidates. You can ask later how many people actually submit. Normally they are given a month after the training to submit, and it is based on a sheet that you have to follow. So if they can prove that within their project that they have done that, then they can start. So mode number 1B actually is only for certification, meaning you have to do the same but written test. So this one actually CIDB has not utilized this at all because it is not competency based, because it's written based. So not many people have gone through that, but a lot of people have also applied for mode 2. I heard Brenda told me some of you have already attended the CCM for interview. Ada kan? Some of you have attended CCM. Ada tak? Some of them have attended
Yes,
CCM.
yeah.
Okay. So the mode 2 RTLE is actually for them, yeah, for interview. You have to submit document to show what you have done, and then from the document you will be called for an interview. Maybe at CIDB, or some organizations, what they do, they want their project managers to be certified. They call the interviewer through CIDB to their office. Can also be that. Okay? Just make sure that you have enough candidates. Maybe it's for half a day. So maybe half a day, at least 3 or 4 candidates will be good enough. But if you have a whole day, maybe more than 4, maybe 6 candidates can be done at the office. I'm not sure whether if MIIP wants, maybe you can go through MIIP as well. Maybe
Sure.
have to negotiate with CIDB. Okay, as you can see, number 3, recognize international certificate. So even if you have PMP, because it's international, you still have to undergo certain years of experience before you can embark on the certification. Number 4, bachelor degree, construction related field. Number 5, bachelor's degree in non-construction related field. So if your degree is non-technical, so the experience is even longer. This is not surprising because we know in the past many candidates who have not obtained any degree or diploma in the technical area, construction related area, but they work in the construction industry and they are very good at it. They can also apply. So CIDB is open to that. Dia bukan mesti civil engineer, mesti architect, mesti ke, tak ada. Dia open. If you have got the experience, you are interested to become a certified CCM or CPM, you can do it. Based on this, based on this. Diploma in construction related area, diploma in non-construction related area, 10 years. 10 years, 12 years, 15 years if you want to be interviewed. Because some of them, or some of you, may be very good at it. You have your own company, you are doing multi-million ringgit projects, but you don't have proper qualification. Maybe you want this? So this can happen after 15 years of experience. So I would congak lah if you have a diploma in accounting, for example. You are 21 years old, plus another 15, you are already nearly 40 years old. Okay, based on this. Based on this. Certificate in construction related area, field, certificate to CGL, then National Skill Certificate, Construction Manager, level 5. Number 9, who knows what this is? Malaysian Skills Certificate Construction Manager. This CCM, CJ Kecekapan Construction Manager. If you want to upgrade, boleh jadi Construction Project Manager. Okay, so if you look at this, if you have the time, you can also look at the CCM qualification. All these are similar, but maybe the difference will be in the number of years of experience. You can see it's the same. So the entry level is different from different people. He has a master's degree, he has a general degree, he has a diploma, for example, but the entrance level are different. You can utilize that. Whether you want to go for 1A or 2. 2 apa tadi? What's number 2? RPLE. RPLE. What's RPLE? What do you think RPLE is? Ada kat bawah ni. Recognition through level of education and experience, recognition, prior learning and experience. RPLE, recognition, prior learning and experience. So in Malaysia, education system undergoes through, they go through what they call NQA. Dengar kan? Malaysian Qualification Agency. If you have a college, you want to run a particular program, you must get accreditation from NQA first for the program and also for the college or the university. So you have people that datang to check lah your curriculum, your facilities and so forth. So nowadays under NQA there's this TVET program. So NQA works together with Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran to come up with this. So they feel that long life learning is very important. Don't just allow people with good result from SPM, MCE and so on and so forth to be successful in their career. We should let people who don't have that but learn faster after they start working. So that's why ada RPLE. That's why kadang heran kan, how come dia tak ada degree boleh buat masters? Kan dia ada diploma but then can do masters because of that RPLE. So don't worry, because the degree is important if you want to work with the government. Because you have to have lulus bahasa Malaysia kan and a degree to work, approved one. But if you want to work in the industry without degree, okay, professional diploma or then you go for masters and sometimes people do doctorate. Okay, assessment, as you can see in the first one, training and assessment that I mentioned to you earlier. If you fail, you can redo. Number 2 to assessment only. Like I mentioned, not many people have gone through that one. Then pada the third one, mode number 2, RPLE, submission of working experience document and attending an interview. Pass, considering skill competency, level 6, certificate will be ordered. Fail, reapply for mode 2 or any time limited to twice only or acquire accreditation via any other mode. So your modules, you haven't passed many of your modules, maybe you have to go through the training more. But again, as I mentioned to you, most of the time we don't penalize that way because we believe that if CIDB make it so difficult for people to get certification, we have a problem. The G5, G6, G7 requirement for project managers to work in their particular companies will not be realized because we don't have enough. But currently we have about 300 to 400 300 to 400 only CCPM. I think CCM will probably a bit more, but still not enough, isn't it? We got so many companies. How many construction contractors now in Malaysia? G5, G6, G7, how many? How many? Actually 70% of contractors are G1 to G4, but 5, 6, 7 at least. What? 15,000 at least? So, contractors. Ada tak? Kau tengok. Siapa boleh tolong check how many contractors ada in Malaysia? I remember the other day, the registered one ada more than 100,000 contractors. But G5, 6, 7, I think probably 10 to 15,000. So all of those companies require at least one certified project manager. So in current terms, we only have around 3 to 400. Definitely it's not sufficient. That's why we encourage people like you, people from all fraternity within the consulting industry to apply and become certified manager. Because rather than wait for CDB to be stricter in the future, it's better for us to come in early. 5, 6, 7.
5 and 6 is 8,200.
So 8,000 plus ni? More than 50,000?
More than 50,000.
More than 50,000. So berapa project manager yang certified tadi? CPM dengan CPM? Tak cukup. So kalau di-implement, it will be fired balik on CIDB kan? Because dia tak ada certified people. So there's a room for you Okay. Then program. Okay, based on this, dia ada PO ni lah. PO ni tak apalah. This is all educational objective. I would like you to look at the modules at the bottom of the module. Module 01, Fundamental of Project Management Competency. So you learn about what project management is all about, the framework, the life cycle, all these things lah. Then module 2, Project Initiation. Dr. Rahman mentioned initiation as something very important because before any project can start, it must be initiated. But when we were discussing this back in 2002, I remember one of my friends, my peers, told me, actually project manager doesn't initiate. There's a stronger word than that. It's called create. Because sometimes certain landowners do not know what to do with their land. So a person like you can go and entice the so-called person to develop something. So you create the project. So it's a lovely word, isn't it? Create project. So actually part and parcel of initiate lah. Yeah, okay. Then number 3, conceptual design and preliminary estimate. So some of you have been involved with design and build. So maybe you know more, especially for ID work. I'm sure you are involved with, say, if you design a kitchen cabinet or you develop a new something for an office building. I remember one ID company somewhere in Beijing before COVID. They contacted CIDP. They wanted 6 of their project managers to be interviewed. So the 2 of us, I remember they were Mr. Das, myself, and one Chinese guy. Wiba, team from CIDP ni Wiba. Yeah, interviewed them. And they told us the project that they are running at that time was to build, I think KLCC Tower 2. Tower 2, they wanted to revamp the structure, the interior work, because they wanted to make the office more open. Dia tak nak macam normal standard traditional work, you have a table and a workstation. But the flexible one is that you can work anywhere in the office. So they came in as the main contractor and ID Works main contractor. The MNE became their subcontractors. Balik, MNE jadi subcontractor. I think this is quite normal now for ID Works. So meaning to say your work is also mentioned earlier lah. Dismantling, renovate, refurbish, demolish, kan semua macam ada kan. So that is part and parcel of that. Design and estimate, preliminary, then procurement management. Everyone knows how do you procure a project. Project planning, project financial management, design development authority liaison, management and quality control, OSH, OSH management, environmental management, value management. You know what value management is? You have any idea what value management is? So kalau you attend interview tu, you tak pass lah tu. You have to attend the course. Okay, value management is all about when you create one particular project, the client and the contractor have to come up with a proposal to say that, you know, how do we reduce the cost for the project so that can be more cost efficient. So normally you have to go through this thing called value management. Actually, the Americans started it in their facilities management program, but now it has been used mostly for government project. I think private sector also are utilizing it. Initially it was called value engineering, but in Malaysia it's called value management. Yeah, value management. Tendering, contract, management, project handover, operation, maintenance, and management of work things. When you see this, can you go back to the LP? Are there many differences between the 16 modules and 15? Is there a lot of differences? In terms of name, may be different, but in terms of the topic, it's quite similar. Quite similar. Kita tengok ini balik dengan ini. Quite similar. I think semuanya ada. Ni yang project management introduction. Yang ni tak ada. Communication tak ada. Ni semua ada. Ni tak ada. Nombor 11, nombor 12 dengan nombor 2 tak ada. So, but this is the current modules that you have to go through CID for you to get certification. But I can tell you, last year CPM was invited by CID Holding to review and refine these modules, these 16 modules. So we sat together for 3 months, bukan 3 months sekali je. Kita sat for 4 sessions to come up with the new module. Now there are no longer 16 modules, there are only 12 modules. 12 modules. Better lah kan? But it has not been approved yet. So you still have to use 16 modules for CPM, 17 modules for CPM. Yeah, that's the difference. So pray lah, the 12 modules will be approved by CIDB soon. We did was we merged it. But one thing a lot of people don't realize when you look at this,
They enhance on the maintenance.
yeah.
They enhance the operations.
Bukan maintenance saja, you look at tendering. Sebab project manager don't really do tendering.
Agree.
There's a few things lah that the CIDB wasn't very happy. But they still have to utilize it because the new one has not been approved. And then kalau you realize, I said there's no communication and no dispute and risk kan? Tak ada. Tapi in any project you have risk. So when this was brought forward to the previous developer of this module, he said in all the modules ada communication. Maknanya from module 1 to 16 ada communication, from 1 to 16 ada risk management, and 1 to 16 potentially ada dispute. Okay, what's the problem with that? What's the problem? Kata ada. What do you think the problem is? Dia tak ada dalam ni risk. Tapi the developer said risk tu represented in all the modules. Dalam initiation, dalam project close out ada risk. Same thing with communication. So I'm asking you, what do you think the problem with that?
Too general. Too general.
Too general satu. Problem dia bila nak mengajar. Siapa nak mengajar? Who is supposed to teach risk management dalam topik contohnya kata the ones project initiation. Macam nak ajar risk? Siapa nak ajar risk? And then pergi masuk the next one, who's going to teach risk in conceptual design? Who's going to teach risk in procurement? So meaning competency is based on task. A task of a project manager ada 16. These are the tasks. So if you don't have the task, tunjuk itu, so you don't know that project manager is supposed to do risk management. So somebody has to teach that in the module. If you go through the training in the module, isn't it? So we'll have to try to improve this by introducing the new one. So hopefully by next year they will approve the new one. So maybe you can go through that one as well. If you're not ready now, maybe later. Okay, any questions so far? you're very interested to ask anything about this information. If you're interested with CCM, you do the same thing as well. Macam ni cara.
So if you are interested, how we take a course?
You just go online. You say that you're interested. You're applying through online. Then, if you want to go to RPLE, then you say so. Then you submit the document showing your experiences in those areas.
Is there any textbook that we can read first before it goes to any exam or any?
Need to go.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You will attend course, then you are given.
Yeah, I understand from Ethan. Actually, he's taking a part-time course. Which take him 1.5 years.
Yes, betul. You don't have that 1.5 years.
Yeah, as the owner, I will not pay my staff 1.5 years to go to course every weekend. Right? That doesn't logic. Maybe you can offer courses in stages, like stage 1,
Okay,
stage 2, stage 3.
CIDB actually does that. They will inform the training in an academic calendar. When are the so-called modules to be conducted? They won't tell you who the trainers are, but they will tell you, okay, the training will be in Melaka on what day, on what in which topic. They will mention that. So, if you go to training certification, you have to pass all 16 modules. No, sorry, not pass. Competent. You have to be competent in all 16 modules. Like for Ethan and the gang, they have to submit, and when they pass, UTM has to give them the marks based on semesters. And then when they finish all the modules, and because they are university, they have to add 2 more modules. One for BIF, the information system modeling, and the second one they have to do thesis. For master's degree, they have to have thesis. But if you go through CIB Holding, you don't need to do anything. You just do all these modules. So similar dengan construction manager lah. So you have pick and choose lah. I personally feel you can go directly for CCTM if you are ready, if you are mature enough. Yeah. But if you are not clear of CCTM, you have a choice. Maybe the interviewer feel that, hey, this Asen ni, he's a construction manager more than rather than a construction project manager. So we will recommend to CIDB, maybe ask Asen to appear in a CCM project manager. So you're still there lah. Or if you feel that there's not enough knowledge, although you've been a project manager for the last 10 years, but still not enough, because you are not good in 3 or 4 modules, we will encourage you to attend those 3 or 4 modules. So you pay less, you pay only for those modules. I have a formula. Last time when I was a lecturer, I told my students, they graduate at the age of 23 or 24, so they work 5 years, they are 29. So after 5 years, if you have enough experience, you go for training. But don't take too many programs in a year. You look at CIDB's calendar, maybe you do 3 or 4 a year. So if there's 16, you do 4 years lah. Because it's not too much on your expenditure and also not too much on your time. Because as you mentioned, time is not easy for people who work with construction firms. It's difficult, isn't it, to get the time. So maybe at least by 33 or 34, then only they are qualified for that. Still okay what? The thing about construction project manager ni, this is what I learned from other industries. If you go into the IT industry, they also have project manager. Tapi project manager dia umur 22 tahun. It's an IT business, right? Yeah. Can be even younger. IT. But construction, can you have somebody at age 24 to become a construction project manager? Baru grad university? Would you be able to accept that? But sometimes when I see some of my students name card in the past, working with ID firm, oh project manager baru 3 tahun. Kan? Project manager 3. Betul kan? The thing is, will the industry be able to accept it? So now with the certification, they make sure that people are upgraded. So only certain people can become certified construction project manager or construction manager. To be fair to the industry. Kan, yes?
These courses are in how many languages? Only English or?
Normally they will have a medium of instruction in English. Yeah, the notes are also in English. But the CPD program, the CCD program maybe in 2 languages. But construction manager, construction project manager will have to be in English. So for your sake, foreigner, I'm not sure, maybe CIDP is trying to also sell this idea to other countries. So if they don't allow foreigners in Malaysia to get certification, so we are not looking outward, we are not looking inward. So I think maybe they are considering that maybe you're going to have this session, Kelvin, with the CIDP, CEO is coming here, right?
Yes.
Here or
The networking night.
the new CEO is Dato Asri.
Yes.
Dato
Zain.
Zain.
Yeah.
Zain. Can Zain.
Okay.
Can we get foreigners? Maybe you ask that question. You be there, right? I've been here for 30 years. You are married in Malaysia? No. Okay. Not yet married. Any other question? Just listen back to what Dr. Rahman said. The industry's future will be determined by demand. In the future, they make sure that everyone without CPM will not be able to work as a construction project manager. When will that be? Next year? 2-3 years? Another 10 years? We don't know. But at least you'll be prepared for it. Especially when the younger ones who are between the age of 25 to 35. Maybe you have to consider this your next step. Yes, the next step. Certified consulting project manager or certified consulting manager, by all means. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, good for you. Yep.
APM is considered under CPM or
APM for okay, that's also a good question. During the first session we had in 2001, there were a lot of discussion about giving leave designation to your construction staff. Baru Pulau Raja jadi APM. So dia buat kerja apa? You always ask the question. Dia buat kerja apa? Apa scope dia? Kalau scope dia katakan company itu is doing privatization job. Ada koordinator yang buat privatization kan? Maybe dia punya APM tu more towards project management rather than construction management. Because whatever you do, project management ke, construction management ke, ataupun site management, site manager, construction manager, you still do project management work, isn't it? But a smaller scale. But the name is different. The designation is different. So if you ask that question, it depends on the nature of what. Maybe you nak guna word project manager tu, kan saya sebut tadi, dia more empowering kan. Buka, project manager, aku assistant project manager. Gaji berapa gaji? Bawah grade. Kan? Dia tak tanya gaji berapa.
Single scope.
Single scope, yeah. And I think Dr. Rahman didn't have the chance to elaborate further just now. It's under PMP, PM Project Management Institute. Dia ada different level, isn't it? Different level. Kalau ni pun, IPMA, it has got different levels. Ada 4. Yang satu associate, and then you have project manager, then senior project manager, and project director. But in PMP, dia ada yang associate tu, and then dia ada project management professional, lepas tu program management professional, and the highest one is portfolio management professional. But I'm not sure there are any tak in Malaysia under PMP yang ada portfolio management professional. Tak ada kan? I think semuanya PMP. Portfolio meaning macam director lah, you strategize. Project management you strategize. Macam maybe what you are doing, strategize. Tapi if you do senior project manager, in terms of program management, what you do more than one project at any one time. So project manager only one project. Itu based on PMI and PMI lah. Tapi in Malaysia now, apart from ACPM, there is another organisation called MAGMA. MAGMA is a creation of Jabatan Kerja Raya. MAGMA stand for, siapa tahu? MAPME. It's another association, Malaysian Asset and Project Management Association. Tapi a lot of their project managers are client based. We know that in the industry there are more project managers in contractors organisation. That's why we want to target contractors. Yeah? Because in the G form, the 8G form tu, I can see the building kan, bangunan kan. So meaning to say the construction project manager that wish to sign that one can also be people like you. Borang apa? Nombor G12 bangunan. But currently, CIDB has already discussed with Kementerian Perumahan dan Kerja Tempatan that both can sign, CCPM and CC. Depends on the value of work. If the value is below, I cannot remember, below berapa? Yang supervisor. Below certain amount, the construction supervisor can do it. Now, go back to the slide that I showed Ani. So now, this is the old one, the other the new CIPS. This one has gone here as well. So supervisor dan level 4. Because there are two types of supervisor. So example you ambil yang pasang pasal ceiling. Kalau dia supervisor untuk company buat pasal ceiling saja, dia level 3. But if you take a supervisor that does work for the main contractor, means you say he has to know everything about architectural work, that one level 4. So the curriculum or the standard being developed by CIDB now covers that one. So kalau you attend yang CSS, Consultant Supervisor, you belajar semua. Level 4, dia dah upgradekan supervisor. So boleh the industri dah upgradekan supervisor. Yes. Level 3 kan, tapi dia nak naik level 4. So still under development. Because the other day, August, we attended a brainstorming for CHS, MNE, ANB together. Very confusing because people in MNE always want to be different. Dia punya ni semua lain-lain. Kita bagikan tradesman ni, dia nak ada wireman, chapman, macam-macam lah. Supervisor ni lah. So finally they have to bow to CIDB. Kita kena use standard terms. Easier. Kalau cakap tradesman ni, level 1 junior lah. Tradesman level 2 ni senior, skill. Then supervisor for subcontractors, then supervisor for main contractors. Then construction manager, and then at the top is the project manager. So even if you are project director, you are project manager level 6. Okay. Interested? So next time kalau dia CIDB panggil, dia kata Ruslan datang interview, tengok, oh member MIP lah datang try. Sometimes when I attend the interview, you know, I thought you are here for 33 years, 8 months. So some of them who attended the interview were my former students. Okay lah, back in the 90s, they are already 40 something kan. So sometimes bila interview, tak sedap lagi. So normally I believe myself. Can you interview him without me around? If not, ada macam bias kan. So tak bias saya tak suka. So all the best to you all. Yeah. Hopefully we all will make the industry better, because we always want to hear good things about the industry. Because selalu industri kita kena kutuk kan, tak ada integrity ke, apa difficult lah, dangerous lah. Let's change the D, kan? The T difficult, let's change the D, become what? Discipline. Make it better. I'm not sure what other D's I can think about. Make it better. And IT especially, the work will always be there, kan? IT. Always be there. So I think that's it from me. Kelvin, Nicholas.